So why do I prefer posting on X than on LinkedIn? You know, that's a very interesting topic, interesting question of the day. So for a while now, I've been posting on X, staying up to date on LinkedIn to a certain extent. You know, being consistent on the platforms and on YouTube. I haven't really been for some reason. It's hard to truly understand why at times, but that was the case. You know, I realized for a long time that I tend to like writing how I feel. You know, I think that's a way for me to express everything that's in my mind, and sometimes I can't get it out in my writing. Even when I'm in certain platforms, I still feel like I've got to dumb it down a little bit because I can't truly express what I want to do. For example, LinkedIn is a lot more professional, so therefore, in my mind, when it's maybe like an emotional state that I'm in, that I want to or I want to write about a topic that I'm thinking about, I tend to be less emotional. On LinkedIn, I'm trying to make it more professional. Maybe it's because the way LinkedIn has been portrayed by me, or by by those around me, or the videos I've seen online. You know, LinkedIn is more professional. That's where you've got to make sure that you're grammatically correct in terms of your writing, and you're making less mistakes, and you're getting your point across straight away, which is good. It's a way to adapt and improve your writing, in a sense. But next, that's why I truly enjoy writing. Why? Because I get the opportunity to be more real, and I feel like I'm able to post more of how I'm feeling and right now in the current state. So if I'm going through something right now, for example, maybe it could be happy, or it could be maybe worry or doubt, I can maybe write on X straight away because for some reason I can be more of myself in a sense. I'm able to, you know, grasp that information straight away and just write it down and post it. That can be, it's a lot more raw in a sense, and less of a structure. Obviously, you wanna make errors in your grammatical, but when you go back to my old post, it's a clear sense of it's a little bit rushed, and now I tend to make sure, I look at the typos in a sense. But I do enjoy being able to write short form, long form, and in the future I do want to improve that, make it, maybe articles for examples, because I know you can do that on X. A lot of people, a lot of creators do write big articles, and they're very much interesting. And I'm sure a lot of people do want to read that, and I want to challenge myself to be able to do that as well. But right now, it's a lot of short form, medium form writing, but which is good. I do enjoy writing and see my progression in that space. And for some reason, I've tended to, I tend not to post on YouTube. Don't know why. Maybe it's because it's more you're on screen, and you're kind of seeing yourself, or maybe you don't really know what to say half the time. But I've enjoyed definitely writing on X, but and I do see the benefits for also doing YouTube. When I was doing YouTube, I could look back in my communication skills, um, the way I'm able to look at the camera, see what's going on. I just overall improve myself, and it's important that I'm able to use the different platforms to stretch my, my skills, and the way my mind is working. YouTube, I definitely missed it. Why? Because there was still I was still being myself in a sense. I was still it was less, because a lot of the videos I make, there's not so much structure to it. There's not a lot, zero editing really. I just pick up the camera and just rant on, I guess, and and just see where it goes. but I think that's very good for me to do because I get outside my shell. I genuinely feel like for a long time, for example, now when I don't post on YouTube and I've just been solely focused on posting content on X, the writing stuff, and on LinkedIn. When it comes back to picking up a camera, it's a little bit weird uh, in terms of the way I speak. I still feel like I'm reserved or maybe I'm a little bit shyer, quite shy, or it takes me time to truly express my thoughts in my mind. But that's why I've been picking up the camera and I want to speak to the camera more, speak to you guys more, and just share some of my ideas that is going through my mind and just where I'm mentally, physically. So yeah, that's why I've been away from YouTube a little bit. It's hard sometimes to truly get your point across, and that's why maybe I like writing. But then again, I don't want to feel like I'm just hiding on those platforms. I also want to have the opportunity to speak on the videos, speak on the mic, and and see what I can come up with.